So good morning and welcome to today's Toolbox Talk on the Employment Rights Bill. My name is Qaisar Mahmood and I'm one of the HR consultants here at THSP. So the purpose of today's Toolbox Talk is to, one, give you a brief background to the Employment Rights Bill. Second, highlight to you what areas are likely to change within the Employment Rights Bill and focus on some of the key areas that are likely to affect all types of businesses. And lastly, where are we currently with the Employment Bill and what are the timescales? So, a bit of background, the Employment Rights Bill has come as part of one of the five mission-led priorities from the Labour government in 2024. This is to grow the economy and to ensure that as part of their plan to make work pay. It was introduced to the House of Commons on the 10th of October 2024. The government is geared towards making work pay. This is by ensuring that there are better systems and fairness in employment, ensuring that people are treated in a fair and transparent way, encouraging employment and productivity.
Yes, we do. Oh, we do. Agile. Oh, you won't.
Thank you. The aim is to ensure that people can rely on day one rights and are supported, sending a message that you are better off financially by working than not working and claiming benefits. I would like to add that this reform encompasses 28 key areas aimed at enhancing worker protection and modernising the current employment law model in the UK. And I will focus on five areas. The first area I will focus on is unfair dismissal, that being a right from day one. Currently, a worker will require 2 years service to claim an unfair dismissal in the UK's employment tribunal courts. The new legislation, as part of the Employment Rights Bill, will remove this 2 year prerequisite and allow for a worker to complain about unfair dismissal from day one of their employment. However, the Employment Rights Bill 2024 introduces a new concept called the initial period of employment. Essentially, this is a statutory probationary period where employers can follow a lighter touch dismissal procedure during the first few months of employment. This period will allow for a modified, less stringent process for dismissing an employee who is deemed unsuitable for the role, particularly for reasons like capability or conduct. The initial period is yet to be determined. However, the preference is that it is likely to be 9 months. Moving over to statutory sick pay. So currently workers have to wait 3 days when they are sick to get statutory sick pay from day number 4. So the government's plan here is allowing SSP to become payable from day one of sickness and payable for the first 3 days. So these first 3 days were known as waiting days currently. The aim of these changes is to encourage staff to take the time off early, i.e. in the early stages, so that they take that time to recover, helping to prevent long-term absence. In addition, the lower earnings limit will be removed, meaning that all eligible employees, regardless of earnings, will be entitled to claim for SSP from day one. The next one, the next one I'm going to be talking about is to end exploitative zero-hour contracts and to introduce guaranteed hours. So the government would like to introduce guaranteed hours over a reference period, and this is likely to be 12 weeks. That people who are on a zero-hour contract know what hours they are likely to get. The other thing they would like to do is a reasonable notice period of shifts, as well as payments for compensation if they are cancelled of any shifts at short notice. The aim of this is to increase job security for workers on zero-hour contracts, provide a level of predictability and ending the one-sided flexibility, reduce the exploitation of unfair practices of zero-hour contracts, and placing a greater responsibility on employers to manage their workforce proactively. The next one is family and parental leave. So the government would like to have a day one right for paternity leave, unpaid parental leave, and unpaid bereavement leave. The above entitlements are to be made available as day one as part of the Employment Rights Bill. The government have said that the current parental leave system does not support working parents in the current employment model and should be available from day one. The last one I would like to talk about to update is to strengthen the existing day one right for flexible working. Currently, there is a day one right for flexible working which came into effect on the 6th of April 2024. This additional piece of legislation will make employers explain expressly their grounds for the refusal for the flexible working request and as to why they feel that their refusal is considered reasonable in the circumstances. These are the 5 areas that currently I've chosen to talk about as part of the Employment Rights Bill today. So where are we in the current process of this becoming employment law? So the bill is currently in the House of Lords. Emma, could you show please the diagram? As you can see, that the new legislation first passes through the 5 stages in the House of Parliament. This has been completed and the stages have been crossed out in green. This will then move on to the next 5 stages through the House of Lords. You can see that stage 1 and stage 2 have both been crossed out. The first reading and the second reading have been completed. And currently we are at stage 3, which is the committee stage in the House of Lords. After the remaining stages of the bill in the House of Lords is complete, then this will move on to the final stages for royal assent. You can see that this is expected around July 2025 for completion. Some laws are expected, thank you, Emma. Some laws are expected to come in shortly afterwards. However, the general understanding is that the employment bill will not come into effect until around autumn 2026. The Employment Rights Bill is, so 3 takeaways from today's talk. The Employment Rights Bill is likely to come into effect in autumn 2026. Some of the most straightforward changes are likely and may come in earlier. For example, paying the statutory sick pay from day one, which is probably easier to implement, and this may come in straight after royal assent in July 2026. The other thing the businesses may want to think about is the likely impact this will have on their business and on their operations. And lastly, to join us at the next employment bill update here at THSP, where dates and times will be posted in the usual way. So thanks for listening, and I'm open to any questions.
Hello.
Hello.
Hiya. Sorry, I don't know if you can.
Hi, is this
hear me.
Becky?
Yes, hello.
Hey, how you doing? All right?
Yes, I'm good, thanks. Are you?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for that. I just had a very quick question. Just on something you very most recently said. The proposed plan, I know we haven't got dates or anything yet in concrete, but the SSP that you said that may come in slightly earlier, was it July 26 or July 25?
Sorry, if I've said that wrong, it's July 26.
It's 26. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
So
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that so the other ones are maybe autumn 26, but that one might be earlier in the sense of July
Yeah.
26, possibly. Okay. All right, that was my only question at the moment, to be
No
honest.
problem. We're likely to do another update on employment law,
Mhm.
on employment bill, probably another 5 areas. These were the 5
Mhm.
areas that we probably definitely every business would be impacted with. So we chose these 5 areas for this one, but we may choose different 5 areas of the employment bill next time. So on the next update.
I see. All right, thanks so much.
Okay, Becky, no problem.
Ta.
I think that's it, Emma. I don't think there's anyone else that and the other attendees there. So what we'll do is thanks for listening. If anyone has any question they still would like to ask, they can email me directly or at the employment law email address, which you can find out in the usual way. Thank you.